Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started here. Arsenal with a 3-0 win, pretty comfortable win, at least that's what I heard. Obviously, we couldn't watch the game. I don't know if it was a rights issue or what the deal with that was, but listen to the audio commentary is something I'm pretty familiar with. Actually, I've tended to do this for a couple games this season while at work. Just put a headphone in and listen away. So yeah, this video is going to be pretty quick. I think sum up the game and just kind of give my thoughts. Um, Not too much, obviously. Not being able to watch it really takes away from being able to analyze the game. So I'm just going to kind of go over some of the press conference from Mikel Arteta, talk about the draw. Substitutions and it seemed like the formation was 4-3-3, something that Arteta seems to be going back to, and something maybe he's just finding comfort in overall. So, yeah, like I said, 3-0, of course, as all of you know. But we the draw happened pretty close after the game ended. It was maybe only about an hour, really, and I was watching the Tottenham game, the end of it there when I went to penalties. I mean, they went through on three misses from the Wolves player, Neves, then Donker, and Connor Cody, all missed. I think one of them was saved, and then Donker one maybe. But I mean, lucky Spurs, they go through. I was sort of watching and I was thinking, okay, if Højbjerg scores here, I'd like Tottenham in the next round just as a statement. And again, it's always fun to play against Tottenham. And really flex those muscles and see what the players can do out there. But yeah, we will be hosting Leeds at home in the fourth round. So that's a team that we've had, recently, of course, quite an interesting history with under Mikel Arteta. I made a comment under one of the posts uh, about Pepe scoring a hat trick. So there's my prediction. I would assume, obviously, there's going to be another strong side put out. I'll get, I'll talk a bit about Charlie Patino a bit later on. Obviously, he wasn't featured here, didn't make the bench. I'll go over the quotes later that the manager had to say about that. Just a couple quick things, and then I will continue on and talk about Spurs and the team I think I'd like to see play Spurs on Sunday. So he just talked about. Sorry, let me just scroll through here. Just on Eddie and Ketty, he says, "I think Eddie gives us a lesson every day in how a professional should do his job." There was lots of speculation around him, obviously talking about the Crystal Palace move, and he was linked with somewhere else. I think during the summer, he said he gets his head down, trains harder than anyone, supports every teammate. I'm so happy for him. Yeah, I mean the goal. I've seen the goal. It was a great goal. It was just a back heel flick, sort of. Speaking of Spurs, actually reminded me of that Ramsey goal, that back heel flick into the side of the net. And this one, the cross from Cedric, the play was built up by Bukayo Saka coming away past the Cedric, and his ball really fizzed in. And I saw just a GIF of it, so I hadn't seen the actual video, but it looked like that ball. And the commentators I was listening to as well on the Arsenal website, mentioned how quickly the ball had been flying. Was flying in. So all credit to him. It's a great finish. I thought he looked the most promising player in the preseason, really. In terms of the strikers, obviously Aubameyang wasn't firing. Lacazette a little bit lackluster in the preseason, and from what I've read, also he didn't have the greatest of games tonight. I know he had an assist and scored the penalty, but doesn't seem like he's doing all too well. But a goal and assist, and of course being the captain for the side tonight would hopefully do him some good. I would have, of course, liked to see the game, but I'm happy for Lacazette. He's a player I like. Obviously, it doesn't seem like anything is going on with contract with him. 9 months left. Most likely he'll be leaving. And in fact, it's the same thing with Eddie Nketiah. 9 months on his contract. But keep scoring goals like that. Of course, it's a League One side, and you can say what you want, but if you try something like that, it doesn't look like the goalkeeper was anywhere near it, and it takes balls to try to score a goal like that, regardless. So yeah, confidence back. A little injury, so I'm happy for Eddie. And Arteta here on Thomas Partey starting him. I know before the game that I think I saw Charles Wheatley. I think he reported that. Let me just look that up actually. That Partey had said that he wanted to play and really get himself. It was excuse me, Chris Wheatley, excuse me, that he wanted to get himself ready for the game on Sunday. He said there, Thomas Partey asked to play tonight as he looks to fine-tune his match fitness ahead of Sunday's North London derby. Of course, that's Chris Wheatley, excuse me, for Football London. So super informative guy. Him and Charles Watts, I think, in my opinion, really give you all the information you need on Twitter. Of course, Charles has great videos that I watch. Anyway, so yeah, he just talked about here, just a quick quote. He hasn't played a lot of minutes since he's been injured, which is true. We saw him come off against Burnley with cramps, I think around the 60th minute or so. And he went on to say here, we believe the rhythm of the matches is nothing like any training session, and so he needed to play, and it was very beneficial. And look, I was talking to someone before this on Twitter about, it's a risk, if he plays, what if he gets injured? And look, I mean, it's kind of a risk you have to take, and he's been really, really unlucky, especially the one this summer. It wasn't even a muscle injury or something that, I mean, he just was tackled and it wasn't even really a harsh challenge, just unlucky in the way he fell, I think, on his ankle. He's been super unlucky with those, but he's back now, and I think that's 3 games under his belt, and hopefully he can go 90 against Spurs, because obviously we're gonna need him. The victory that Spurs got, it's going to be a morale boost for them. They kind of got by the skin of their teeth. It was a penalty shootout, 2 goals early on. They then conceded 2, so in my opinion, it is in Arsenal's favor, and again, I'll touch on that towards the end of the video here. Just one more quote here, Arteta on Patino, of course, the youngster that everybody wanted to see, myself included. We thought that most likely he'd be at least included in the squad, but we'll just have to wait and see. So he just says here he was very close, but we decided some players needed some minutes. It will happen naturally with him. Charlie has been good. He's been training with us. He's played a practice game at Colney and was really good, but again, he needs time, and we will prepare him. Of course, talking about this a closed door friendly against Brentford, where according to Charles Watts in his most recent video, he talked about how impressed the first team, his teammates were with him, and how calm and collected he was against that Brentford side in the friendly. So yeah, it's you don't want to rush a young player like that, and we've seen players like Bukayo Saka, of course, come through when he made his debut under Unai Emery and Emile Smith-Rowe shortly thereafter, and look how where they are now, wearing number 10 and number 7 for Arsenal. So you would hope Charlie Patino can come through in due time and really make an impression, more so than he already has. And perhaps this game would have been great. Certainly don't know if Leeds United would be a great game for him, because I think Leeds are going to try to play their strongest team. You certainly would think so for that 4th round matchup. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Charlie Patino, of course, it's only a matter of time. So hopefully we can see him on the pitch with the senior team sooner rather than later. So I'll just sum this up just real quickly. It's not going to be too much, of course, the video here. Just preparing for the game on Sunday against Spurs. Of course, Granit Xhaka is going to be back, available from his suspension. I know talking about favorites, Arsene Wenger obviously had his favorites. I was thinking about this the other day, playing Giroud over and over again. There was that stint of I don't even know how many games it was, no goals, and just kept playing him. And I think at a certain point you don't want to take a player off. You don't want to sub him, because you really might just slice that confidence, which is obviously low already. You could perhaps say the same thing with Aubameyang last season. Just kept playing. Willian, same deal. But of course, I'm talking about Granit Xhaka, the favorite, one of Mikel Arteta's favorite players. Obviously, he plays him whenever he gets a chance. But I certainly don't think he's just going to come back into the squad, especially when you have a fit Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga, who, uh, the amount of times I heard his name, maybe I think twice maybe he had lost the ball or lost possession or something, and twice I heard that he regained possession on his own, and I heard his name all throughout the game, and it seems like we really do have a gem here, and young players, the captain of Anderlecht. 21. You look at Martin Odegaard, captain of Norway, and I think he's just 22 years old. So you have these young players, captaining sides, captaining international sides, and of course Granit Xhaka, captain of Switzerland. But I really, despite the fact that Mikel really likes Granit Xhaka, and I used to be a huge fan. After that last red card, I really find it hard to defend him, despite that he won the ball, and I could go on about this, but senior player, man, you really just can't be doing stuff like that, and I personally don't think he's just going to come back into the squad. Maybe a substitution, 70 minutes, give him 20 minutes against Spurs, but it's almost to the point now where you're afraid that he might just do something rash again, and that sucks. That you see a player coming on, a substitute, you want fresh legs, a player who's going to make a difference. And my first thought, I think a lot of people's first thought is, oh geez, what could he do wrong? And it's a horrible feeling to have. Even Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I heard reports that he had another good game in that midfield. Of course, Sambi Lokonga and Thomas Partey are super complimentary to anyone. I'm sure they play alongside in that front three. I wish I could have seen who was really moving forward the most. I don't know if it was Ainsley or Sambi or Thomas Partey, really, out of the three of them, but they certainly seem to complement themselves, and I'm interested to see, in fact, what formation he's going to go with on Sunday against Spurs. No Gabriel, no Ben White in that back four. Nuno Tavares, another player, I heard his name a lot going forward. It seems like he has an abundance of attacking skill. And before he came in, I was reading about him, and he's a bit raw. And the report I was reading is that he's not super solid defensively. But a couple times this game, I heard his name, praising him for a tackle that he made. So. Certainly Kieran Tierney, is the name you want on that team sheet every time, as long as he's fit in that left back position. But another young player, Nuno Tavares, getting minutes, experience, more English football for him. So yeah, it's looking bright. No Tomiyasu in the side, of course. You expect him to come back against Spurs on Sunday. And again, if I hadn't made it clear, for me, it's most likely Thomas Partey, Sambi Lokonga that are going to be starting against Spurs. That's at least what I think. Of course, Ramsdale, you expect to come back in goal. Tierney, Ben White, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, you have to assume is going to be a back four to two midfielders. I already went over. You would expect Emile Smith-Rowe to start. Odegaard, of course, come back into that number 10 role, and I would assume Bukayo Saka is going to come in on the right with Aubameyang captaining the side and leading the line. I only say Bukayo Saka because, yes, Pepe didn't play this game, and perhaps he is getting a rest, but Bukayo Saka apparently had a very good game when he came on, and he's been a little lackluster. He's lacked a bit of urgency, I think, going forward. Sort of that clinical final third, the ball, the finishing, and the passing has been a bit off for him. I think you could say the same actually for Emile Smith-Rowe. Despite the fact that he scored a goal tonight, I've yet to see it. Again, it sucks that we weren't able to watch the game ourselves, but 3-0, a win is a win. Leeds in the next round. Spurs, of course, on Sunday. So I'll be back with another video for that game. I said this a couple days ago that I think Arsenal are going to win comfortably. I said 3-0 because the last two games they lost 3-0, and I just thought 3-3, 3-0. I think if we beat Spurs by 2 goals, we're actually going to go above them in the league. So all this bullshit and all this, all this talk about they were top of the league and we were bottom after, it's just, if they need that, Spurs fans and any other rival team, the fans, they need that to just try to have a dig at Arsenal, then let them have it because it's already over. Even if we lose this game, we have the whole season ahead of us. Looking sharp in the Carabao Cup so far. Of course, you have the FA Cup coming around in January. So, look, it seems like Mikel is perhaps turning things around here. And I think, of course, the Spurs game on Sunday is going to be the real test. We come along against some really good sides. Of course, Chelsea just looking like favorites for me for the league. I think Chelsea, City, Liverpool. You could throw Man United in there, of course, but I think those three are really going to be biting in each other's heads for the title. And of course, City we lost, pretty embarrassing, and that was the lowest point I think of the season, and it's been going up from there, and you can only really beat who is ahead of you. So, yeah, Spurs on Sunday. I'm excited for that game. I've said 3-0. I'm just going to stick by it because who wouldn't like to see Arsenal beat Spurs 3-0 at home? So, thanks again, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.